We want to tell you about a decision we made that surprised even us.
We were in our 70s. We had good reasons to stay home.
And we chose to strap on a backpack and walk across Spain anyway.
Not because we needed to prove something to anyone else.
Because somewhere along the way, we had started to believe that the most interesting chapters of our lives were probably behind us.
The Camino taught us that we were wrong.
Here's what 500 miles actually looks like when you're walking.
Day one, over the Pyrenees, magnificent and brutal.
Yes. 2.5 weeks later, the Meseta, endless and difficult, not because of the terrain, but because there's nowhere to hide from your own thoughts.
We had days where everything hurt.
We had mornings where we genuinely asked each other, can we keep going? Can we do this?
And we had something else too.
We unplugged from back home responsibilities. We had more unscheduled, uninterrupted time than we had had in decades.
And in that time, walking 10 miles a day through some of the most beautiful countryside on earth, something started to fall away.
Paulo Coelho calls it unbecoming. We'd describe it this way.
The version of us that left home was carrying a lot of things that weren't in our packs.
Worries about what comes next. Old habits of being too busy to feel anything. Assumptions about what we were still capable of.
Mile by mile, they got lighter.
Not because the Camino fixed anything.
But because when you spend 52 days putting one foot in front of the other, through rain, through heat, through the vineyards of La Rioja, the Meseta, and the mountains, you find out what's actually still there when everything else strips away.
You find out you're stronger than the story you'd been telling yourself, and that changes things.
Here's what we noticed about every pilgrim we walked with who was over 50.
None of them were extraordinary athletes.
No.
No.
Most of them had never done anything like this before.
What they had was a decision, like us.
And what the science now confirms is what pilgrims have known for centuries. Walking is one of the most powerful things a human body can do for itself.
Not running, not the gym, walking.
Specifically, long, sustained, daily walking, the kind that slows cognitive decline, strengthens bone density, regulates mood, and builds the cardiovascular resilience that keeps us independent and alive.
The Camino de Santiago is 500 miles of exactly that medicine.
And almost everyone out there is doing it for the first time.
There's a Paulo Coelho quote that we carried for 500 miles across Spain. Maybe the journey isn't so much about becoming anything. Maybe it's about unbecoming everything that isn't you, so that you can become who you were meant to be in the first place.
We didn't really understand that before we left. But by the time we got to Santiago de Compostela, 52 days later, we did.
We walked into Santiago de Compostela on a Wednesday morning, and we stood in that plaza and we cried. I'm not ashamed of that. I cried.
Not because we'd walked 500 miles, but because we'd walked 500 miles in our 70s. And we'd felt every one of them, and we'd kept going anyway.
If you're watching this and something in you is stirring,
Maybe it's the Camino. Maybe it's something else entirely.
but if you've been waiting for a sign that the most interesting chapters of your life aren't behind you,
Consider this your sign. We're not here to tell you that you have to walk the Camino.
we're here to show you what's possible when you make the decision to keep walking whatever road you take. Buen Camino!